my second video on beat making. Yeah, I thought I would do something different in this video in terms of how I approach making this beat. I'm actually, because if you saw the previous video, I actually started with the sample, the main sample I was going to use, and then pieced everything around that. But this time I'm going to flip it and actually start with the drums, because to be honest, it's my preferred way of doing it normally anyway. And I think you can build a stronger foundation when you lay drums down to fit samples around it anyway. So yeah, I'm going to go through a few things regarding that. So I'm going to start with a classic break. See if you know what it is. It's been used countless times, but it's a great break to chop up. There's a few unique little drum fills that that stand out, and yeah, I've actually used this before, so I'm familiar with it. But it's one I want to use today. I'll let you hear it. You probably recognise it from many a record. So yeah, and it also has a revisit at the end of the song, which has got the weird and fruity drum fills. So let's try and find that bit. Little bits as well. The volume does drop off, but I can level it in the MPC, so I'm not too worried about that. So yeah, let's get started with that then. Yeah, so I've been busy chopping the break up. Yeah, I avoided the bah at the beginning. I didn't want that, because I wanted to define my own sort of music around the drums. But yeah, these are a few of the chops I got lined up at the minute. So we can do all sorts of stuff like. So now I'm going to try and arrange those into an interesting loop. Maybe 4-bar variation or something like that. So here's an example where you can really completely redefine a break by chopping it up. Sometimes I chop it into 4 per bar, so it's like a chop every 4th beat. But sometimes there's little occasions where I may chop an 8th just to accent certain drums, and I'll set certain drums to cut each other off. So I can make. And that's what I'll do with the 8th notes normally, is set the 8th note to cut another drum off. But hang on, I'll just play the loop. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the final arrangement I have for the drums once the samples start coming in, but it's a good start. It gives you a good feel of a groove. This will definitely be a good foundation point to start layering other drums over it as well to fatten the sound. You don't want to overcomplicate the drums too much at the beginning, because it will make trying to layer the drums a nightmare, because there'll be hits and snares here, and so it'll be a bit of a cluster of sounds. So yeah, I think that's enough at the minute, so I'll try and start bolstering out the drums a bit. Right, I found some hi-hats and a nasty snare to fill out the drums I've already got. So I'll show you what I got on the first loop. So you can see, yeah, it's already beginning to sound a bit meaner. The problem is, the snare I use is somewhat a loop in itself. So when it comes to the other bars with the different drum arrangements, I couldn't use that to emphasize every snare because it would end up being a bit of a mess. I'll show you an example. So, but that, it means those snares, they seem to lose something, so I had to go digging for this, and I had in my memory an Icantina snare that I remember. It needed to have like a tinniness to the snare because obviously it's got a tinny sort of sound to it. So yeah, I found the record. Just the beginning there, just the beginning. So then I layered that over any additional snares I had. It's just to capture that tinniness, and this is what it sounds like. It brings that snare up to a similar sort of timbre as the other snare I had. So yeah, that was a little trick I thought I'd demonstrate there. Yeah, so I've got the drums now. The sort of mood I'm in, I want to create one of those atmospheric beats, very creepy, you know, dark, Onyxy, you know, Gravediggers like. So yeah, I found a few samples. I'll show you what I've got already. So. So I ended up getting these two fucking eerie ass samples. One of them. And the next one was this. But I wanted that to fade in, so I set the attack. I signed it to 3 pads, and I set the attack on one of them to come in, and then to go out, so I can have it introduced into the beat slowly and it will wave its way through the beat. So I thought that'd be a good touch. I gotta admit, as soon as I heard this eerie sample, my first thought was double bass. Get some double bass on this. So yeah, I found some and I've made some chops. So let's just have a look how I mixed it up on the beat a sec. So bring it in on the 1. Leave a lot of space in this beat. Wait for the switch up. Wait for the switch up. Yeah, so that's where I am so far. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a double bass. So just to recap, I haven't got a lot of sampling time. Down to 2.7 seconds now. So what I've got to do with the rest of the beat is try and, you know, salvage that time. But I'll show you what I did to get the double bass chops, because I had to speed basically a double bass solo up on this record here. So You have to find those little chops. It's like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes. Yeah, it really is like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes, but they're there. So yeah, it just doesn't really get any better than that. If you can find double bass on its own, it's just such a tool to have, you know. I created a little intro to bring the song in. It sort of builds up over the course of a couple of bars, but yeah. So and I've made some arrangements and switch ups in the song, but I might leave it here for today and follow up with another video of all the extra tweaks I make to the beat. But yeah, because it's sounding really good, this one. So yeah, I'll play it from the beginning for you. So yeah, that's what we've got so far. Yeah, I'll follow this one up with another episode, I think.